So today is September the 11th, and for many people, what they remember about September the 11th is the Twin Towers, of course. But for me, many years before that, in 1992, it would be my 31st anniversary of having ME. So not a great memory at all to have, but sometimes it's, I suppose, good to talk about. So I'll just come on to this site that we have, and somebody mentioned in the last video about, because not just with Miranda, but I had severe ME. Yeah, it's my experience with severe ME. That's Miranda. From Miranda's had it a long time, but from 2010 she had a milder form, and then in 2010 she's had severe ME ever since. With me, I got ME and it was straight away severe, and so that what happened was I was bedridden basically for 4 years. So I lost my job and lost my friends and lost my life really. And the thing about it is that somebody says how did I recover? Well, I don't believe myself as better. I just feel myself as improved from then. So for the first 4 years, it was really, really difficult. And the next 4 years after that, there was times when I was wheelchair bound. So for 4 years, very severe ME, and the next 4 years, severe to moderate ME. So it took us 8 years to be able to, I couldn't do things like driving or anything like that. So, and when I started to come back from that, my legs used to swell up when I was changing the clutch and stuff like that, and the back of my legs, the muscles just used to swell, and so it was everything was so difficult. But the one thing that I did have is decent doctors. Two of my GPs, they already were involved in a way with people with ME, because they went to these talks and things about it, and so they were quite well up on it. And my parents were a massive source of encouragement, never doubted us once. And the people who I would expect to be there for us just weren't. But on the flip side of that, then I did get some real friends, and still real friends. A few of them were friends from I've always known, but they just became closer. So the things with what are really the symptoms of ME. Another thing is about reading. I was like I wouldn't say a bookworm, but a step down from there. So I've read hundreds of books, and I couldn't read at all, hardly anyway. So here's a little video here with showing some of these books that my dad used to get, where he used to buy these kids books for us. So it's big writing, big pictures, and so I could take something in. So it was just a very, very difficult time. But the weakness and things like that was really bad. But the brain symptoms, I just couldn't function mentally, and I couldn't eat. Sometimes I forgot to eat, as in I couldn't remember what to do. It was just such a weird experience. And the thing with it is that I don't really like to go back there, but there has been people ask us to do stuff on this type of thing. So, and Miranda says, why don't you just put it out there about it wasn't just her with severe ME. So we've got a new carer, from Miranda's carer, and I've known her family for many years, and she says she remembers this when I was in a wheelchair. So this was before Miranda came along, and that, so it's still a huge mental barrier really. But I think that that you can improve, but you do the things that you need is good nutrition, pretty obvious, I think. And you know, trying to live a sedentary lifestyle as possible, even though it's boring as anything. And there is no guarantees. The one size doesn't fit all with ME. It doesn't actually fit with any illness, to be honest. I mean, you know, any illness out there, some people can recover and some people just don't, and it's not them. There's no that they've given up or anything like that. And there's symptoms that, you know, we all are different on. And so here with the core symptoms, and that is extreme physical fatigue, overall weakness, mental fatigue. This is the one that I really had, overall weakness extremely. Used to just crawl to the toilet and things like that, but the mental fatigue, confusion and memory loss was just, and I couldn't stand noise at all. And also with the chemical sensitivity, and I had OCD really. Sleep disturbance, where I used to sleep when I first came down with it. I used to sleep all day, and then for about 6 months after that, I couldn't get to sleep at all. And then when I did, it was like sleep reversal. So I used to sleep through the day and then be awake at night. Post-exertional malaise. This is a one where it's, even now, this is a funny one for me, because the post-exertional malaise for me, it doesn't hit us straight away. So 2 or 3 days later, I can think, well, what did I do yesterday? And I didn't do anything yesterday, and then I've got to go back over. Headaches, nausea, these are secondary symptoms. I'll just go on for these ones over here that I've discussed about Gilbert syndrome here, that you can see. And when I start, when me and Miranda got engaged and we decided to get married, the thing is that you think, well, everything's going well, and then and then I started getting seizures, and it's just like you think you're just destined, you know, not to have a decent life, you know. And I said to Miranda, you know, like, you can opt out if you want. You know, see what it is. If it's brain cancer, then, you know, I mean, that could be an issue, but there was nothing showing up on brain scans, and Miranda wanted to go ahead anyway. So yes, so these and all these ones down here, I'll have to update this site. It's not HTTPS, which is secure really, as they say it. It is fine actually, but yeah, there's things like migraines. Well, for me, migraines down here. I've had ophthalmic migraines for many years, even before ME. So it's not so much headache; it's the visual disturbance and then the neurology problems, depression, dizziness, and stuff like that. And but like another person will have different types of symptomatology to mine. And the things that I only put down to, you know. But like recovery is again the dietary issues. We have to address them, have to find out what, you know, triggers us and things like that. And those of us, you know, that where carers are needed, it's a very hard. We don't, you know, there's sometimes, you know, you've got to have them, but there's so many reasons that it can cause other issues as well. Plus the fact is that another thing that I feel goes under the radar is the people think you're dealing with ME and that's it. You know, that's all you're dealing with. You're dealing with every other aspect of a normal person's life. So you're dealing with like home life, your family life, you know, if you're married, if you have children and things like that. I don't like sort of when you're severe ME, or even moderately ME, that is such a hard thing to deal with, to be able to put things into perspective. You've got responsibilities and all sorts of things, and then like sort of the, you know, with the just before I met Miranda, I might have met Miranda, I'm not sure, but the like within a few months, 2 of me support people, my granddad, and I have a cousin who I was really good friends with as well, who supported us brilliantly in the real depths of my despairs and things like that. My cousin, and he committed suicide. So it's like two blows within a few months was a very difficult thing to deal with, and that, So I don't really have any, I don't have any magic cures for people, but other things, try and get your doctor on your side if you can. Some won't be interested. With the situation with COVID, they might take a bit more lenient views now because of like how, some of the symptoms are very similar to ME. So hopefully that'll change. One good thing about COVID and that. But the one thing about ME, you can always go back, as I did when I got COVID pneumonia. I wouldn't say back to the beginning, but I went to the point where I was really 10-15%. And I have improved this year, so this last 6 months, 9 months, whatever, I have improved a little bit. But it's a very difficult illness, and I know this. I don't mean this to be all about me, this video, but it's and I know I ramble on as well. But it's just it's just my story of like what can help is doctors, nutrition, hobbies. If you're up to it, and when I got better and things like that, I got a million hobbies, and they did help me to improve on that type of thing. But yeah, I mean, everybody's different on that, and if you're seriously bedridden, and some people kind of talk, it is very difficult. It's very difficult to see, a rainbow at the end of a storm type of thing. But it's just something that don't give in. There could be times when your health changes. You might try another treatment, or that you maybe put on some new medication or something that maybe is for one thing, but it helps your ME and that. And there's all sorts of things. I've been for counselling. I don't know how many times, but it does absolutely nothing for me. But for somebody else, it could help with dealing with secondary problems. But yeah, anyway, I just thought I'd make this video. But try to be encouraging that. Miranda's had times when she feels a little bit better on some days and things like that. So there is betterment possible. There is that thing, and it's just trying to get that consistency, if you like, where instead of going downhill, ME has this thing where you can go along a bit and then you go right down a bit, and if you had a graph, it'd be like that all the time. And sometimes that can, and then the disappointment of you thinking you're not doing too badly, and then the disappointment can be absolutely so frustrating and gutting. But anyway, I'll bring this video to an end because I'm sure I've rambled enough. So thank you for watching.